Welcome in. And today I'm going to talk about why characters should have less abilities, at least newer characters. Now, I just want to state this before I go into my main points. I don't want to take away abilities from characters already in the game unless it's a team-up ability. And unless the team-up ability is like super overpowered, but that's a different story in itself. I'm more going to focus on new characters having a bunch of abilities, and I want those abilities to be less and less and less over the seasons. Now, let me more expand and talk about that. So right now, newer characters have gotten several abilities. I mean, Emma, she has a whole form which gives her 2 other abilities. Daredevil, I mean, I can't even count how many abilities he has. He has 2 abilities, I think, that can switch into 2 other abilities, so that's at least 4 other abilities packed into there, plus even more. Gambit has 2 abilities, which can go into 2 more abilities, and alongside more abilities on top of that in his base kit. I mean, Phoenix, she can fly, teleport, and stun. She's probably the better of all these characters. I feel like they did it best with like the Fantastic Four in season 1 and 1.5. Or Thing, I mean, at the time, he didn't have the jump. He just had the charge, right click, left click. I mean, that's good. Human Torch, he was a bit more complicated. Invis, a bit more complicated. I mean, even when they did it good, they didn't really do it good. I'm not saying we should have every character be like Scarlet Witch level easy, because I know for sure, at least for my opinion, my, standards, experiences, whatever you want to call it, if I lose to a Scarlet Witch, I feel horrible. Like, I just don't want to lose to Scarlet Witches. I don't want more of them in the game. I'm not saying add easy characters into the game because, oh, less abilities means easier character, right? No. I want abilities which can be highly skillful, which can be highly skill expressive, but I don't want these characters to be easy, if that makes any sense. Give each character a max, an absolute max of 4 to 3 abilities. 4 is even pushing it a bit. Now, left click and right click, I feel like should be standard for each character. Standard primary fire, and then right click is another ability. Plus 1 to 2 abilities alongside that, like let's say an E and a shift. I feel like that would be good for a lot of characters. Okay, and this character only plus E again, or E left click, E right click. Is like, okay, this makes the character really strong, and you've already seen the repercussions of that with Gambit, how many abilities he has. Okay, you already seen that with Daredevil, how many abilities he has. And that's another thing. Stop giving shield, Marvel Rivals. Stop giving shield just for people existing. Like Bucky, he never used to get shield, if I remember correctly, in season 0. Now he can get like every shield in the world with all of his abilities. Daredevil, he's pretty much a shield merchant. Stop giving shield to the vast majority of abilities as well, especially to newer characters. Elsa Bloodstone as well. She has a trap, she has a right click, she has a shift, she has an E. Both the shift and the E are both dashes, work kind of differently. You can only use, I believe, the E forward, but you can use the shift anywhere. You gain shield for both. If you hit someone with E, you get another ability. If you just use shift on its own, you get another ability. It's like, okay, let me just count it up. So you get a shift, that's 1. An E, that's 2. If you hit the E, you get another, which is a little like blast. That's 3. You get a snare, that's 4. You get a right click, that's 5. And I may even be missing something. I'm not gonna count the primary and all. So that's 5 abilities in your base kit. Or maybe 6 if I didn't count the shift little blunderbuss or whatever it's called. So that's 6 abilities, if I did that correctly. I think with the majority of characters, if you add them with less abilities coming in, you have more flexibility with adding more abilities later on as well. People get used to the character. Let's say look at Thing. Let's look at Thing for a minute here. When he was added, he had left click, right click, and shift. I believe he didn't have the jump to teammates at the time. I may be wrong about that though. Over time, people are like, okay, this guy's very simple, 1-star difficulty. Anyone can jump into him, right? Okay, over the seasons, he gained the ability to jump on teammates, which I believe actually now he did have at the very beginning. But during the flying meta, or a little after, I would say that half season after, he was able to jump on enemies. And I believe they added the 20% vulnerability later down the line. And then they added more team-ups to him. Like, the Fantastic Four team-up wasn't really super good. It was just like there. Sure, it helped, but it was not really that good. But getting the Gamma team-up, I mean, now he has another ability, which is more of a team-up, but not in his base kit, but look at all of his abilities now. Not even counting his team-ups. Left click, right click, E, F, shift. Just counting them out, shift is 1. E is another. F is another. I mean, that's like 3 abilities right there, plus his left click and right click, plus any team-up he has. If they do give characters a lot of abilities, they should do it like they have done Thing, where For sure, he doesn't start out with pretty much anything, but over time he gets more because it fits his character. And I feel like a lot of people don't realize that. They'd be like, oh, a character with little abilities? Okay, no, I don't like that. They'll just make every character easy, oh, brain dead, blah, blah, blah. Especially if a support has little abilities like Rocket. They add another Rocket type character, not in terms of ease, but with how many abilities he has. I mean, people, DPS players specifically, will go over the moon about it. Meanwhile, their own moon on Moon Knight has not that many abilities as well. So to just kind of simplify it, I want newer characters to come out with a lot less abilities than they do now, because if you look at any other newer character in the entirety of Marvel Rivals, except for maybe a few exceptions, they've came out with tons of abilities. I want people to build off characters with little abilities compared to, okay, let's nerf this overpowered character with a ton of abilities. Not only does it give more range, more options, more potential to these low ability characters, but it also opens the door to better changes in metas. Let's say 2 characters are added. I don't know, I'm just gonna add 2 tanks to the roster right here. MODOK and Sandman. Let's say they add Sandman with slamming his fist into the ground, a shield barrier raises, and he can slowly push it, but his, movement is slowed by maybe 20%, and he's just moving slowly, giant barrier. A lot of health, maybe even higher than Strange Health. He has that. His normal attacks are maybe the spikes. He shoots out kind of like a Groot attack. And then he also has the ability where it's maybe on a 15-second cooldown where he builds a giant hammer and slams it on the ground. I mean, I feel like that would be good. And then let's say MODOK gets added to the game. His basic attack is just the laser, but then he also has an ability where the crystal instead pulses and pushes people back a little bit. Not too far, because I don't want to be another stun. I would say maybe a fourth, if not a half, as powerful as Sonic Vortex from Invisible Woman. And let's say because, he's a tank, he's going to be super bulky, other than getting like a Jeff type of work where he gets a resistant to headshot damage because his head is pretty much his whole body. He can also grant damage resistance to his teammates. And now these characters only have 2 abilities each. 3 if you count primary. But these characters are already very skill expressive. And with these characters, you can build off of them. Yes, Sandman, I mean, if you add him to the game, you can do pretty much anything. He's sand. He can, I don't know, it's like Green Lantern. Whatever he imagines, he can do it. And MODOK, just do something tech-wise. You can even give MODOK an ability, team-up ability with Ultron, with Iron Man, with Mr. Fantastic, since they're both intelligent. With Sandman, it's a little harder to get team-ups with maybe with Spider-Man. I mean, even with characters with little abilities, you can still make them super interesting and skill expressive. You don't need these bigger characters. I would say, in my opinion, they are adding too many no-name characters to the game. Sure, a lot of people do probably know them if they're comic booky, but a lot of people in this game probably aren't super into Marvel. Right now, I started playing the game in Season 0 because I was into Marvel, and I saw, oh, Marvel's making a game. And I know a lot about the MCU. Do I know a lot about comics? Not really. I sell comics, but that's really the extent of it. I feel like they should add more of these bigger name characters. Sure, they're even competing and beating their rival in Steam charts by adding a no-name character while they had 5 characters, but I think it should be, okay, add some well-known characters again. Sure, you added Daredevil. Sure, you added Deadpool in the past recent patches and updates, but add these characters people have been wishing for. I know you've said you had like the next year planned out and everything about that, but add these characters everyone's been asking for. You can do so much with them. Their name will carry them. I mean, with Sandman, you could do like a sweep attack. I don't know, where you knock them into walls. The enemies, I mean. But I'll wrap up the video here because I know I already said a lot of what I wanted to say, but just in general, add characters to the game, like I said, like these MODOK, like the Sandman. Let me know what you guys think of those 2 characters as well, because I just made them up on the spot. These, my videos are never scripted. But let me know in general what you guys think of this topic, this idea. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. See ya.